I just switched from the iPhone 14 Pro to the iPhone 13 mini. It's March 2023 and I've just bought a phone that was released in late 2021. Have I gone mad? I think the iPhone 13 mini might be my favourite iPhone ever. Make sure you stick around to the end to find out why. Hello everyone and welcome to my channel where we do videos about consumer technology, cameras and running. Please subscribe for more content like this. So the iPhone 14 Pro is a beast of a phone. This iteration we got a few updates. Satellite features for SOS, crash detection, a new A16 processor which is faster than before, the always-on display, the dynamic island, and a new 48 megapixel camera. The SOS and A16 processor are neither here nor there for me. I don't race in the desert, and I've never had an iPhone that feels slow or rarely keep one long enough for it to get slow. My iPad Pro has an A12 and that still feels pretty fast right now. The crash detection is pretty cool, but my Apple Watch Ultra does that as well. The always-on display is great, if sometimes confusing as to whether the phone is in standby or actually on. It does seem to hit battery life a bit, but nothing that would make me switch it off. The dynamic island has been okay, I guess. I think it needs more work from Apple and more developers need to take advantage of it for it to truly be useful. And then on to the big one, the cameras. The cameras in reality are what has had me coming back over and over again to the Pro line of phones over the regular iPhone line. Having a powerful camera, now with 48 megapixels, raw photos and ProRes video support in my pocket at all times was massive. I have a Nikon D90 DSLR that I love, and it takes great pictures whilst only 12 megapixels, which are far better than a phone can. But the camera is huge and there is no way that it's ever going to fit in my pocket or be carried around everywhere with me. But then I did something. A month ago, I started this YouTube channel. Psst, don't forget to subscribe. A week ago, I decided to motivate myself to create the best content I could by purchasing a Sony ZV-E10 camera. You can see my unboxing video linked somewhere in one of the corners, where you'll also find that subscribe button. Now, for all the amazing things that the iPhone 14 Pro can do, it is not a small phone. When it comes to one-handed use, especially with the case on, the hand gymnastics required to reach each side of the phone mean that I'm constantly battling gravity to keep the phone from falling out of my hand. I regularly find myself needing to use the phone with one hand. I might be carrying my daughter or some shopping or anything else, and it's just a frustrating experience. Not to mention how heavy the phone has gotten. The stainless steel makes for a beautiful looking phone, but it doesn't half make it heavy. So back in 2020, when the iPhone 12 mini was announced, I got very excited. Finally, a small phone with top-end specs. Except they weren't all top-end specs. The iPhone 12 Pro and Pro Max especially had far superior cameras. So I went the 12 Pro route, and then the 13 Pro route, and again the 14 Pro route in September 2022. But again, something interesting happened after I got my Sony ZV-E10. I realized that it fits in my sling bag that I carry a lot when I'm out, and I took it with me to Kew Gardens this past weekend. Walking around Kew Gardens, I was reminded of the size of the iPhone 14 Pro, trying to reply to a WhatsApp message with one hand, with the other hand pushing my daughter along in the stroller. Not fun. And the Sony camera took some amazing pictures that day that I think the iPhone would struggle to replicate. The Sony has by comparison a huge APS-C sensor compared to the tiny camera sensors that go into phone cameras. Physics. That and having a camera in my hand rather than a phone has actually made my photography far more intentional and has reminded me of the joy of using a dedicated camera. Now I realized I no longer needed the iPhone with the best camera in my pocket, as I had a better camera in my bag. I also realized that I don't have to carry around the huge iPhone either. That mini iPhone that I coveted in 2020 was now an option. And then I remembered that Apple ditched the mini iPhone for the iPhone 14 line, and I was a bit dismayed. But the great thing about Apple iPhones though, last year's model is still a great phone and will still be supported by Apple for many, many years. I think they still support the iPhone 8 with software updates, and that phone's about 4 to 5 years old now, I think. So I bought the mini, and it's been great. It's light. It's easy to reach all of the phone. It's still blazing fast, and I love the way MagSafe accessories seem to be designed to perfectly fit this phone. The battery pack and the wallet are literally a flush fit around the edge of the phone. It's not all roses though. The battery life isn't going to be as good as the 14 Pro. That's a given. But if it lasts me the working day, I'm fine with that. There are so many places that I can top off my phone, I don't think this will be a bother. The screen size has been fine, and if I want a bigger screen, I've got a MacBook Pro, or an iPad Pro, or an iPad mini to choose from. The one thing that I'm truly disappointed in is something that I didn't even think about, and that's the lack of ProMotion. Once you've seen the difference between 120Hz and 60Hz, you literally cannot unsee it. But it isn't going to stop me from making the 13 mini my daily driver, and I'm going to sell on my iPhone 14 Pro. Will there be another mini phone from Apple? Probably not. Does that make me sad? No, it's just a phone, and I'll keep enjoying my 13 mini until it doesn't do the job anymore. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, like and comment, and check out some of my other videos while you're here. Thank you.